Okay, so I meant to do a follow-up on Ash by Elegance. It would have been my third. To basically speak on her character work. I'm really, really enjoying the character work that she's been doing as Ash by Elegance as compared to Dana Brooke. It blows Dana. It makes you just, who's Dana Brooke? Basically, she should never, ever, ever, ever return to WWE as Dana Brooke at this point. Just that fucking character is just sweeping under the rug, and I wasn't fond of it. Her character work has been very consistent, comical, very good. The in-ring work was kind of still the same. I wanted to see, when I first did the first piece on her, I had stated that I wished that she had taken like 6 months off instead of rushing to get back to another company, taking 6 months off and maybe went to Rikishi's school to freshen up and to get some new move sets so she can stop doing the cartwheel nonsense. I'm really not fond of that too much. The only person like I said before when I said this was Tiffany. Tiffany Stratton's the only one that really does the cartwheel into the corner the best that I've seen, to my knowledge. With that said, her character work as this Ash by Elegance is on point. So I just finished watching the match with Ash by Elegance versus Jordynne Grace at Slammiversary, and I will say, in my opinion, this was the best I've ever seen Ash look ever. Okay, one time in WWE, I think they had like a 6-woman, or it was a ladder match, or it was Money in the Bank or something, and I thought she came across really well. It might have been twice, but one time, like 2 matches when I say twice, but one time where she really stood out. But this match, they made her look like $1,000,000. I'm sitting here saying this being my arrogance of this match shouldn't go longer than 2 minutes. No, they made her look like $1,000,000. It lets you know that Jordynne Grace is as talented and then some to really sell the match. But it made Ash look really fucking good. She came across as being a true competitor, in my opinion. Furthermore, what I would do, man, and this was going to be in my follow-up to this character. Well, one, I would have had her win this match. As crazy as it sounds, just because, it just adds another layer to Jordynne Grace. It adds another layer to the title. Right now, what I'm seeing is the same thing that I complained about before with TNA, where it's going to be Jordynne Grace on top, Jordynne Grace on top, Jordynne Grace on top, Jordynne Grace on top. Prior to that, it was Deanna on top, Deanna on top, Deanna on top, Deanna on top. Then prior to that, Tessa Blanchard on top, Tessa Blanchard on top, Tessa Blanchard on top. It's like you don't have complexities. Sometimes you need complexities. She didn't have to beat her clean. Ash was a schemer. If you looked at how her character has been built up and the things that she would do, why not just have her scheme to get the win and to get the title? It could have been for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, next pay-per-view, whatever. Then it goes back to Jordynne. At the end of the day, Jordynne has about 5 months, 6 months now on her contract, and I'm not really sure if she's going to end up re-signing, because we already know that she's being courted, so we don't even have to go into that. So with that said, they could be already lining her up for the NXT title. But with so much competition, we don't know what Victoria is going to do. We don't know what Julia is going to do. We don't know how long they're going to be there. So, who knows? I just don't see Jordynne Grace re-signing. And with that said, who's going to pick up this title? I'm not even sure because Masha Slamovich has been off television for like weeks, and all of a sudden she popped back up. It's like, hey, did we forget that she had a title, a tag title? But then she just popped back up. I thought maybe her contract was up. Sometimes I don't know these things because I don't follow Impact's contracts, like that. I just know that when I don't see a talent, something's up. With this being said, who are they going to transfer this title to come December or January? Is it going to be Ash? Can Ash carry this? I think if you did this storyline, it could work, which is, in my mind, and I said I was going to say this when I did the follow-up, this would be the perfect, on so many levels, this would be the perfect opportunity for fucking Mandy Rose to get her fucking ass and wake the fuck up out of sleepy land, thinking that this company is going to call her back and all this shit and staying stagnant, to bring her fucking ass over to TNA. Even Dreamer's been saying like we would welcome her, and she's been, if I go back, we're going to have to talk about trademark and ownership. It's like, bro, sis, you go to TNA, you'll have that, and then you can do the crossover and have a new name that you can own, and you can kick the Mandy Rose shit to the curb, unless they don't have the trademark for it anymore, which I highly believe that they do. But the arc that I had is like, would be that Mandy Rose would pop up as the sidekick to Ash by Elegance. No title, just pop up as the sidekick. They'd come in as a tag team, get the tag titles. Somewhere down the line, there would be a split, and Ash and Mandy would have a feud. But if you don't know who you're going to, actually, this would be the perfect time with 5 months left before Jordynne Grace leaves. But this one is out prepping to get married, doing an Olympic fucking run, and got all this other shit. It is what it is. But right now, in July, going into August, this would have been the perfect opportunity to bring Mandy in to set this up. And then they would split, let's say like by January, feud. And if you want to do a transition of the title, if Jordan's going to WWE, you give it to Ash. Ash loses to Mandy. Mandy can be the flagship person to hold this belt because we've already seen what she's done in NXT. With that said, maybe you get the band back together with this whole crossover. You bring in Gigi. You bring in, what's her face? You know what I'm talking about. JC, you bring JC in. But if you're looking for someone that can hold, because I've said this before, TNA, man, for the past, I think maybe since the pandemic, their female roster hasn't been strong. No, I'm lying. I'll say, I'll play this. When the Iconics left, or maybe when Chelsea left, it started to kind of fall apart. But I still kept saying, man, because every time when I watch the show, it always feels like they have like 5 women. Even though they might have a little bit more, it always felt like they just had 5 women, 6 women, and that was it. And I'm like, damn, they need more people. Like, I felt that they should have signed Ashley Dubois. That shit, they should not have let her go. But when you hear about what Scott was going through, then I go, oh, could be why they couldn't sign Ashley Dubois. That was and now she's just in fucking osmosis in ROH or AEW land, and you see her when they use her. But they completely should have signed her. They should have immediately signed the Hex when they first showed up. So it's all about, if Jordan bounces, who's going to be able to carry this. And I think that's set up. Ash, let her have that title. If you're not going to get Mandy, that's my fantasy. Because her heel run so far is very good, and she can become very manipulative. Maybe at some point you hand it over to Giselle. You wait a couple of months. And I'm talking about in 2025. But they have to start looking long term as to who they're going to sign in TNA, because if Jordynne Grace bounces, which I'm pretty sure she is, unless they're going to have her go over to WWE and then she's still going to have both titles until they can find a suitor. But that's Ash by Elegance. Great character work. Hope she continues this, and this match was the best match I've ever seen her in, hands down. And I'm going to leave it at that. My opinion. All right, I'm out.